The South Carolina Department of Education, in partnership with ETV, presents the South Carolina African American History Calendar. Henrietta Snype indubitably represents the title of artist. Snype, from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, is a master sweetgrass basket weaver whose work has been showcased across the globe. Taught by both her mother and her grandmother, Snype has been creating sweetgrass basket art ever since she was 7 years old.
Well, for basket weaving, it's like you had your own professor. My grandmother, Elizabeth C. Johnson, and my mom, they were my inspiration because basket weaving was mandatory. It wasn't something that you just think you can do whenever you want to do it. It was something that was handed down from generation, and I knew that growing up that we had to learn this craft. And so those two legends were my great inspiration, my grandmother and my mom. This craft is one of the oldest crafts in the world, and I knew someday that if I didn't pick it up at the time that I did pick it up, that it would, for myself personally, that I would not have any interest. But seeing my mother and my grandmother made this basket a way of survival for the family, and I came back and I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to still remain having this craft, but wanted to do it on a different level.
In the early 1980s, Snype recognized the significance and beauty of her family's Gullah and African heritage. After graduating from college, Snype started working in schools, teaching people the art of sweetgrass basket weaving. Although many believe that the art of sweetgrass basket making is exclusive to the Gullah community, Snype openly challenges these notions. She has devoted her life to the education and preservation of her heritage, spreading awareness of this art form by hosting demonstrations and workshops in countries across the world.
Well, my first experience, big experience, with the Smithsonian. I guess the story got out about the community and they wanted to put on an exhibit, and so I felt honored going to the Smithsonian. That was a big thing for me, and I've done 3 or 4 different projects on different level. I went there and I did a collaboration with the Indian makers, and they had me and an Indian woman sharing our experience on sweetgrass because the Indian used sweetgrass as well. But ours were longer, had a different smell, and theirs were shorter, and it had a different smell. And the way they gather it, it was short, and then they would pull the entire root out from the soil, but we don't do that. We leave the roots in, and then we pull it out, and then we go back within 3 weeks' time, and we can pull the grass back out of that same little pod within 3 weeks. And my other experience was to teach it in the school in the state of South Carolina. I figured if this is the area for the basket makers, why can't we just teach our children? And I've been going to this one particular school, which is Beach Hill Elementary, for 19 years. Some of those kids are married, and I'm seeing their kids again, their kids. So that, to me, is itself, it tells a story, is to pass it on to the next generation.
Snype believes her work pays tribute to the resilience and strength of both the Gullah people and her African ancestors. Her works of art are prominently displayed throughout Charleston and have even made their way to Smithsonian's National Museum of African Art. Snype has many accomplishments of which to be proud, but is most glad that she's been able to pass this art form down to future generations.
I know today is hard because everything is very expensive, and the cost of living is higher. But I honor all the younger ones, especially from my family and my children. They have a job, they went to college, but they're coming back again. They're coming back in a different format, but they are preserving and they are protecting this art. And they're doing it so different, and it makes me happy to see some of my kids' work that is so different, but I'm still thinking, oh, they are doing wonderful, and they can take it to another level. I mean, you can do a birthday party, sweetgrass birthday party. I mean, I do workshops. I'm thinking all the time. At my age of 67, I'm steady thinking, what else can I do? But I'm dwindling now, so I'm listening to the other generation. You have to listen to them because they are the next generation.
Learn more about the South Carolina African American Calendar's current and past honorees at www.scafricanamerican.com.